Is the state of Illinois about to lose the Chicago Bears? We've got a big update when it comes to the new Bears stadium. And I just want to ask you guys, where do you want the new stadium to be? Where do you want it? Do you want it in Illinois? Do you want it in Chicago? If you want to be specific, Arlington Heights, Indiana. You guys let me know where you want the new Bears stadium to be. And guys, special deal alert. We've been telling you about the Bears Now Valentine's Day gear for today only until midnight. We're talking about Wednesday, February 4th. You have till midnight to get $5 off with code VDAY5. But also, if you order today, you are guaranteed to get this gear by Valentine's Day. So if you're still looking to get your significant other, your wife, whatever the case may be, some V-Day gear, do it right now. Chatsports.com/BearsVDay. We got sweatshirts. We got shirts. The sweatshirts are for the guys and the gals. $5 off, code VDAY5 until midnight tonight. So don't wait any longer. Get down there right now, and let's dive into this video. I'm Harrison Graham. This is Chicago Bears Now. The state of Indiana appears to be aggressive and, quite frankly, just easier to work with than Illinois when it comes to a potential new Bears stadium. And they could make a proposal in the near future, and the Bears could go there. It sounds like Sylvie, a.k.a. Marc Silverman, ESPN 1000, had some reporting on this. He said, if the Bears are told at the end of February and they get what they want from the state of Indiana and they go to Illinois and Illinois says, we need more time, they will take their bags and move to Northwest Indiana. Financially, they are getting what they need from Indiana. The other side of it is they prefer the land in Arlington Heights and want to build there, but it would cost them $2 billion, which they are willing to do. They prefer that land and they prefer staying in the state of Illinois. But if at the end of the legislature session at the end of February, quote, wait, we need more time or it's a no-go, the Bears, from what I've been told, are gone. So what he is saying is that, number one, Indiana is not a bluff by the Bears. It is real. They are a threat. And the Bears are willing to go there. It's not their top choice, but they've been doing this back and forth with Illinois for years now. They bought the land in Arlington Heights, like 4 or 5 years ago? I mean, I feel like we've been talking about this since early on in the Bears Now days, and here we are, and the project has not started. So that is number one. And number two, they're basically telling Illinois, listen, man, we want to stay here, but we're losing money by the day. I mean, remember when they did that City of Chicago proposal over a year ago? They said every year that goes by, it costs an extra $150 million just in lumber and all, prices go up. Like, it's not getting any cheaper to build a stadium like this. And again, the Bears are willing to pay $2 billion, but there's other issues that the state of Illinois apparently will not get past, at least at this point in time. And I think the biggest factor now, the reason that this is real, is I think Kevin Warren's under a lot of pressure. He said for over a year, there will be a shovel in the ground in 2025 on the new stadium. Didn't happen. We're in February of 2026 now. So I think the McCaskies, the higher-ups in the Bears, and probably Warren himself are like, you know what? I made this promise. I went on national TV with these games. We did these press conferences. We did these press releases. And none of it happened. None of it worked with Illinois. And the Bears are probably like, you know what? We want to stay here, but we're not going to bend the knee any more than we have to do it. If Indiana is ready to play ball right here, right now, if you guys don't get your act together in Springfield by the end of this session, we're just going to go there. You know what? The New York Giants and the New York Jets play in the state of New Jersey. The 49ers are not in San Francisco. They're like over an hour away in Santa Clara. Like, most of these teams, the Dallas Cowboys are not in the city of Dallas. You see this all across the league, and I just think the Bears' patience is running thin. I really do. It's been several years now. Again, Warren went on this press tour saying this would get started in 2025, and it didn't happen, and I'm sure he's pissed off, and I'm sure his higher-ups at the Bears are pissed off that it didn't happen. And if Indiana's going to make it easy, if they're going to make it quick, if they're going to make it financially more feasible, which, again, the Bears are willing to fund most of the stadium. They just want help with the infrastructure. It's just It's unfortunate, man. And look, I'm not one to like defend billionaires in this situation, right? But again, the Bears are offering $2 billion. These other teams don't do that. Like the Titans, it's all taxpayers, right? Like they're not acting like most of these teams normally do. They just need money with the infrastructure for Arlington Heights, and they want tax certainty. This is on the state of Illinois if they leave. This is on the state of Illinois. Like you can't. There's got to be some kind of agreement between all parties involved, and I think the Bears have done everything they can. Kevin Warren, maybe he overplayed some of his hand early on. I think there's definitely truth to that. But at the end of the day, Indiana, in a matter of a few months, is ready to roll, and Illinois, years in, is not. And that's the bottom line here. So I don't know where this ends up. It feels like every 6 months, my opinion on where they're going to be has changed. And look, in a perfect world, they would just be on the lakefront forever, right? I mean, those environments, those sky cam shots with the city and the lake during the playoffs was absolutely electric, but clearly that's not going to happen. So now it's like, state of Illinois, are you going to lose the Bears not just outside of the city, but are you going to lose them outside of your state entirely? Like, that would be a pretty bad look if that happens. So I think in the next month, we're going to find out a lot. If we're like around free agency time and Illinois is not playing ball, I would not be shocked if the announcement comes that the Bears are going to Indiana. And that would be crazy if that scenario ended up playing out. If you had to guess, where will the Bears be? Do you think they'll stick in the state of Illinois or Indiana? I still want to say Illinois, but like it feels like this could go any direction at this point. It really could. And one thing I do feel confident in is that the Bears' patience is running out, and they're tired of this saga. They just want to get this thing started. And if that means they have to go to Indiana to do it, then they will do it. So stay tuned. You guys know me. I don't love the stadium updates, but this is a pretty notable one. So when big things happen, we will break it down for you guys. All right, coming up. Video's not over. Ian Rapoport names a potential Bears offensive coordinator. We will talk about that before getting out of here, but we also have to tell you about our awesome sponsor, PrizePicks. Big game. It's almost here. Last game of the season, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right. And since the big game is right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before next season. So close the season out right with PrizePicks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play first $5. Find your community on PrizePicks. With the new social feeds feature, you can share PrizePicks with your friends and copy lineups from winners with a single click. You can even use lineups for inspiration for your own picks. You can follow PrizePicks creators like me at HGram, NFL PrizePicks partners, I should say. Tail fade my picks, whatever the case may be. I'm going to be launching some lineups for the big game, and I'm going to be using in one of my lineups the big game max discount. Drake May, half a passing yard. He hasn't been very good in the playoffs, but I think he'll have at least a yard passing. Little freebie there for you guys. 2 to 6 player lineups. You're already halfway home to a 2-player lineup with the old Drake May discount there. Take advantage. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It is good to be right. Okay, Ian Rapoport, I don't want to say casually, but kind of casually mentioned, like, oh yeah, Press Taylor could be the OC for the Bears. He'll definitely get a look. Press Taylor, who of course has been the pass game coordinator for the Bears, at least he was last season. That is who Rapoport mentioned. Here was the full quote. He said, in the building, because this was after he talked about the Connor Sanger interview that's going to take place, or maybe already has, not sure. In the building, if there was an option, Press Taylor would be considered to be an offensive coordinator candidate. He's done an excellent job in several stops. Certainly someone who Ben Johnson will consider. Still a young guy. I think he's like in his late 30s, early 40s. You look at Press Taylor's coaching career. He got started at Tulsa as a grad assistant, and then he was with the Eagles for a long time. Quality control coach. Assistant QB coach, including that year they won the Super Bowl in 2017. Then he got elevated to quarterbacks coach, and then pass game coordinator his last year there. Then he was a Colts senior offensive assistant. He followed Frank Reich there, and then he became the Jaguars OC under Doug Peterson, who, of course, he worked under in Philadelphia. And look, things did not end well in Jacksonville for Press Taylor. The things we were saying about Shane Waldron as the OC here, they were saying about Press Taylor in Jacksonville, and ironically, they switched. He came to Chicago, was the pass game coordinator. Waldron went to Jacksonville as the pass game coordinator, and lo and behold, both teams were good and both offenses were good. So sometimes right place, right time, right role. And I think the role part of it is the key, right? Because I think a few people will freak out if it's Press Taylor. At the end of the day, if it's Press Taylor, that means it's someone Ben Johnson really, really trusts. And that's the most important thing with this hire. Does Ben trust him? Will the guy put in the legwork? And do the players like him? Because this is a non-play calling role. It's Ben Johnson's offense. You just need someone who can bring in some fresh ideas and then do a lot of the dirty work throughout the week. That is what this OC gig requires here in Chicago. Now, he's not the only internal option. We've talked about this. JT Barrett, I find interesting. If he's looking to advance his career, he could be that guy. Antoine Randall, I don't think it'll be him. I think they value him too much as the receivers coach. And then Will Lawing, who they've reportedly hired from Boston College. He was their OC. He could certainly take on that responsibility as well. As of now, there's only one external candidate. That is Connor Sanger, who is the Cardinals' pass game specialist. I'm pretty intrigued by him. Just 30 years old, has quickly risen up the ranks as a coach, has experience in college and in the NFL. He was a Wisconsin quarterback. Then he was the QB coach at Wisconsin Oshkosh after playing there for a couple years. Carroll QB coach, Wisconsin Whitewater running backs coach, which is the powerhouse at that level. North Dakota State, which is obviously a good program as well. And then he's risen quickly in Arizona's organization. I have no idea if Mike LaFleur is trying to keep him or not. He's interviewed for other quarterback jobs, coaching jobs as well. The Eagles, I think, recently requested him too. I kind of like the idea of someone like Connor Singer, young, hungry guy who can put in the hours. That's what made Declan appealing. He came from Sean Payton. He was a quick riser, and hey, he can work a lot of overtime, right? And get those cut together those clips, do the film stuff of opposing defenses, and help with the game plan throughout the week. If he finds someone who can put in the legwork and that he trusts and can bring in some fresh ideas and mesh with the players and the other coaches, that's what this job is. Ben's going to handle the play calling, the play sequencing, all of that stuff. So we'll see who it ends up being. I think this is kind of just going to be one of those you got to trust Ben, whichever way he goes. Because, again, it's not an assistant to Ben Johnson. It's not like a secretary for Ben Johnson, but in some ways that is part of the role. It's like, hey, I need you to do all the stuff I don't have time for since I'm the head coach. So you go do that. That's a big part of this role. From what it sounds like. So we'll see who it ends up being. Press Taylor could be in play. Certainly Connor Sanger, who the more I've read about is a pretty intriguing guy. So, and don't forget, if it is Sanger, Ben has been willing and intentionally, he's brought in guys outside of his inner circle. Like last year, he brought in Eric Bieniemy, no ties to him. Why? Because he wanted someone with different ideas who came from the Andy Reid coaching tree. So it would not shock me at all if Connor Sanger was the guy for this job. Who will be the Bears offensive coordinator? If you had to guess, let me know down in the comment section of this video. My name is Harrison Graham. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will continue to keep you guys updated on that and a whole lot more here on Chicago Bears Now. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.